In this video, we are going to look at comparing two data sets. In the last lesson, we have already looked at how statistical displays can be used to compare two data sets to make judgments and predictions. And we discussed one of the examples from parallel box plots. In this lesson, we are going to go through two more examples. Example 1. The back-to-back histogram shows the number of goals scored by two football teams during a season. And then these questions. We'll do these questions one by one. Part A. How many games were played by each team? Now there are two teams, Scorpions, Well United. If you look at the height of these columns, so the horizontal axis shows the number of goals scored, and the vertical axis shows in how many of the games. So 4 games scored 0 goal means no goal in each of the 4 games. 1 goal scored in each of the 7 games. 2 goals scored in each of the 6 games, so because the frequency is 6, so if you continue with that, Scorpions played 21 games. Similarly, Whale United played 21 games, so each team played 21 games. Part B. How many goals were scored by Scorpions and then Well United? Now this time it's how many goals. So in each of the 4 games there were no goals scored, so number of goals scored is 0 times 4, 0. In each of these 7 games 1 goal was scored, so number of goals is 1 times 7, 7. In each of these 6 games 2 goals were scored, so number of goals is 2 times 6, 12. So if you continue with that, Scorpions scored 34 goals. Similarly, Whale scored 0 times 2 or 2 times 0, 0 plus 4 times 1, 4 plus 6 times 2, which is 12, plus 4 times 3, 12, and if you continue with that, Whale United scored 51 goals in total. Part C. Find the mean number of goals scored by each team. Now this is similar to how to find out mean in a frequency distribution table. We have already looked at the formula before. The formula mean x bar is equal to sigma f times x over sigma x. Now here sigma f times x is the total number of goals scored. Sigma x is the number of games played. So if you calculate using a calculator, you get Scorpions played 1.6 goals, or sorry, Scorpions scored 1.6 goals per game on an average. Similarly, Whale United, total number of goals divided by total number of games, they scored 2.4 goals per game. Part D. What is the range for each team? Range is the highest number of goals scored, take away the lowest number of goals scored. So if you look at from the horizontal axis, for Scorpion, highest goal scored is 5 and the lowest goal scored is 0. So Scorpion's range is 5. Similarly, for Whale United, highest number of goals scored is 6. Take away the lowest number of goals scored, 0 is 6. Part E. Describe the shape of each team's result. If you draw a curve around the peaks of these columns and look at the tail pointing towards, if it's pointing towards the higher number of goals scored, then it's positively skewed. Same here. So in both teams' result is positively skewed. Part F. Which team performed better? Give reason. We have already calculated mean for each team. So Wales United performed better as its mean was 2.4 goals per game in comparison to Scorpions 1.6 goals per game. Example 2. Here we are going to compare two different displays for the same set of data. This shows the number of text messages received by a group of teenagers displayed in a frequency histogram as well as in the box plot. Now these are the questions. Let's go through these questions one by one. How many teenagers received more than 6 text messages per hour? Now which display to use for this one? We cannot find from box plot because it does not give us how many text messages per hour, but we can easily find it from the frequency histogram. So if you look at the frequency of each column for 7 text messages, 8 text messages, 9 and 10, and then take the total. So it's 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 7 messages, more than 6 text messages per hour. Okay, find the mode. We can't use box plot here. We have to use frequency distribution histogram with the highest frequency 3. So the mode is 3 messages per hour. Median, we can't use frequency histogram. Here we have to use the box plot. Median is 4. Range, we can use any of these two displays. So the highest minus the lowest, highest minus the lowest. So the range is 10. Interquartile range, we can only use box plot. It's 6 minus 2, which is 4. Part C, the shape of the distribution is positively skewed. How is this shown by the frequency histogram and the box plot? If you draw a curve around the peaks of column and also around here the box plot, you can see the tail is pointing towards the higher number of text messages per hour. So in both cases, both displays is showing is positively skewed. Part D. According to the box plot, what percentage of teenagers receive 2 or more text messages? We can't use frequency histogram here. We have to do a lot of work for that one. But we can easily use box plot. So 25%, 25%, another 25% gives 75%. Part E. What information is better seen on the frequency histogram and the box plot? So in summary, whatever we have done so far, the mode and the information regarding the number of text messages received by teenagers can be easily determined from the frequency histogram. Median, quartiles and interquartile range can be, or the percentage can, or above any quartile can be easily calculated from the box plot.